Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alberto. If you're new here, I don't do this usually. I'm on my sofa because there's also a new dog, because I'm in the process of moving, and I also have moved. If you have seen in the last video something different, I have moved to my filming room, which is also sort of a workspace, and it's new, didn't have that before. Quite chaotic now, so I wanted to film this just because I thought it would be cute, and I decided to do it here, so here we go. Now, I know the whole trend of the mystery boxes is kind of dead and buried by now, but it happened that my hairdresser, who's also one of my friends, called me the other day and asked if I perhaps was interested in having some random knitting related stuff because she was clearing her mom's basement or something. She obviously doesn't knit, wasn't interested in using any of that. So she asked me if I was, and obviously I said yes, because I do have plenty of yarn and knitting related stuff, but you can never have enough. And even though I don't really know where to put them because my house is already pretty full, I still wanted them. She gave me this box, wasn't sealed, so I couldn't do the whole, ooh, I'm opening it on camera. It's also sort of stuck in here because there's not that much space between my couch and my coffee table. So it's kind of wedged in there. Cannot really move it too much. I just opened it, as you can see, and I'm peeking in and I'm seeing some random stuff that I wasn't expecting, to be honest. So let's go. Diana, Princess of Wales. Cosa c'è? We're currently up to 4 pets, by the way. It's interesting. The first thing we have is this, which is a cross stitch. I don't know what it is exactly. It's definitely like patterns for cross stitching. I guess it's one of those things that were very popular like in the 80s and 90s. The sort of weekly editions where you would get a bit every week, and then just put everything in the folder. I have never done cross stitch. I do embroider, and I have done on the channel. I love doing embroidery, and I'm surprising myself with the fact that I've never done cross stitch. So actually, I'm pretty excited for this. I mean, it's a lot of kids stuff because, you know, the target for this stuff is not me, but I am happy. So this is okay. It's cool. I would have never bought this, but it's pretty hefty. There's a lot of cross stitching to do in here. I can sort of flip through so you can slightly appreciate the amount of they're not patterns. What are these called? I would like to film. Can I please? Would you let me? Anyway, moving on. Then we have actually another folder. Still cross stitching for kids. So, you know, I do have a niece. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is old. This is 80s. Can we appreciate her? Please. But yeah, it's more cross stitching. Again, I want to say patterns. These are not patterns. I don't know how they're called in it. But let me know how they're called. It's a lot of kids stuff again. Just Disney, like knockoff Disney characters. I'm excited. There's another folder. Oh no, it's knitting. I'm so excited. Again, these are weird. So these, can you see the shape? Can you see the shape? I think these were part of some sort of like booklet or thing for like correspondence or something. It's all in Italian, of course, because I am Italian. But it's basically sort of little tutorials on how to do different things. It's cool. Oh, these are so cute. Yeah, it's like a knitting correspondence school. I love this. This is very nice. They explain better than me. But yeah, how touch collars. There's a bunch of like different necklines. V neckline. Some hems, some different sort of decorative borders and stuff. This is cute. It's all techniques. It is. There's seams. Seams again. Different types of casting on and off. Great. Decreases, increases. Some very stylish knitwear that I would love to own with some crazy patterns. I mean, how can you not love this? I never do this stuff. I never take enough time to do an actual like sweater. I did do it. It's just it takes so long for me because I do knit, but I'm a lot into doing just like scarves and sort of smaller finite projects that when it comes to do something that does take quite a lot of your free time, I never really do it. But I do want to make more sweaters and stuff like that. They're so cool. It's just so cool. Yeah, finally some actually knitting related stuff. Very happy with this. This is great. My biggest problem with sweaters and knitted clothing, besides again usual accessories like scarves, etc., is the sizing. Because if you try to use a pattern that it's either a commercial pattern or something online, because there is obviously so much stuff online, most of the times it's either for women or average sized men. I am not, so I struggle to size up everything. But yeah, happy about that. Then there's a bag, a fun accessory. What do we have in here? I mean, whatever this is, a little box with a glass lid. Sure. It's for needles, I would say. Oh, we got some crochet hooks. This is cute. Some incredibly tiny crochet hooks. This is a mess, but it's a bunch of cotton and a pen. Oh, I love this stuff. It's like, this was lived. Oh, stitch holder. Nice. It's mostly cotton for crochet. Some thinner cotton and thicker cotton. And there's a measuring tape, which I have 500 of those, and I can never find one. So that's great. Then we have this, which I love. It's a cardboard tube with needles inside. My very favorite metal needles, and these are long. Are they longer than? Sorry, I'm comparing. I have some projects here. This is my Friday night project. I just do a tiny bit while I watch a movie. It's taking quite a long time. These are quite big. Because another one of my problems is that I do like to work with chunky yarn, um, mainly for two reasons. Obviously it's easier, it works much faster, and I also like the look. Slightly older generations and people that are better at knitting than me use finer yarn because it's great. I really hate working with finer yarn. So the struggle I get is that usually when I find needles like these, what is this, a 3? I would never use this if I could choose not to use it. I do see stuff like some iron sweaters or color work projects done with thinner yarn, and they look incredible. I would really love to be able to do something like that. I might try in the future. For a second I thought it was a Tunisian hook, because if you're not familiar, Tunisian crochet hook is just basically a crochet hook as long as a knitting needle, and it's incredible. It makes some sort of hybrid stitches, I would call them, because obviously it works differently than a crochet hook, but at the same time it's not a knitting needle because there's only one of them. So it makes these really cool effects, and I might do a video on it because I really like it. Anyway, just a lot of needles. Some are missing their brother or sister. Second tube. Yeah, these are all tiny. Another one. Oh, this is incredible. It's a 7? It looks bigger. I mean, this gold and orange colorway for me is like the best thing ever. It's a 7. It feels bigger than a 7, but sure, we'll go with what they suggest. Love these. Incredible. I am a big fan of metal crochet. No, of metal knitting needles. I love the aesthetic of the wooden ones, but they're horrible to use for me unless you buy the very expensive ones that are incredibly polished. And at that point, I don't really, you know, to be eco, etc., get metal. Metal is fine. I love these. They seem to be very similar gauges. Probably happens when you knit for your whole life, and I have several needles that are basically the same gauge just because I like that gauge, and I leave projects there waiting to be finished for a long time. So yeah, then we have a bag, some more sort of crochet cotton that I don't really use, but I have been eyeing a loom for a while. I really want to try weaving, so this could come handy for that, and all the other ones in there, because it's a thinner cotton and it should be perfect for that. By the way, I was thinking to try with a rigid heddle loom. If any of you are familiar with it and you want to leave me in the comments some suggestions, I would be very grateful to you. So there's that. Oh, we have some sort of boucle style yarn. Again, not one of my favorites, but this can give some cool effects. A lot of mohair. I love the color of this. I have 2 sweaters in the same exact color in mohair. So, I mean, there's only one ball, but maybe I can make something cute. Some more cotton that, again, can be useful in the future, hopefully, for some fun weaving. Some embroidery threads. Is it actually wool? It is! Oh, that's fun. And then we have some sort of random mixed yarns, like this is a 40% wool. Again, I tend to prefer 100%, but I'm okay with a blend sometimes. This is adorable. So this, if you don't know, is a yarn holder. It's an egg. Basically, you put your yarn ball in here, and then there's a hole in the top. So you pull your yarn from the hole and then you close it. It has two little holes here so you can carry it around as a little purse. And ideally you put this on the floor and you avoid tangling or getting your yarn dirty on the floor or pet hair. I guess we found more of the blue mohair, a lot more, and the other boucle one. I guess I could make a sweater because there's two more. Oh, I see cool stuff. Oh, but there's this again. It feels very soft. It does last a bit longer if it's a mix and it washes better. So there's that. But it's only two little balls, so I don't know what to do. This is a bit ridiculous at this point. Okay, again, same brand, different color, but it's the same sort of 40% wool, which I guess at this point can be mixed. It's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 balls we have. This feels like alpaca. It's very, very thin, and there's only one. This has to be from the same shop I go to because I'm pretty sure I bought this in the past. Half a kilogram of eco wool. And there's another ball in here. This is nice. A little dusty. Allergy's gonna thank me later. I would love to make something like a Nordic, Icelandic-ish sweater with stuff like this. This is not enough, but you know, I don't know how exciting this could have been being a knitting related mystery box, but it was fun for me. I'm happy for all the needles because since I don't use the thinner ones, I don't own most of these, so that's pretty good. I'm happy about all the free wool I got because besides actual big projects, it's also important when you do some trials or you want to try a stitch or the size of something, maybe a beanie, you want to try the pattern for a beanie before buying the actual wool or using the actual wool. Having something like an acrylic or a blend, it's a bit cheaper, but you can use and it has a similar feel and thickness to the yarn you're going to use in the end. It's pretty good. Sometimes just to add to projects. In a case like this, it would be fun to do something like a granny square blanket or Harry Styles viral cardigan from J.W. Anderson. I'm incredibly excited for these. It's always a fountain of ideas that might look or seem crazy to us now, but they are pretty good and you can work on them and sort of take something and make it into something a bit more modern, maybe by changing the color or the pattern. But also there's been lately a resurgence of this oversized sweaters, etc. So I'm grateful. I'm also happy for this because in case I ever decide to do some cross stitch. I was watching the other day a video from Kathy Hay, who's amazing, and she did these embroidered cross stitch suspenders and they just looked insane. So, you know, let me know if you like cross stitch. If you do it, what would you suggest? Especially let me know if you can give me any suggestion for the loom rigid handle. Ideally, because I don't have a room to dedicate to a floor loom. I also don't have a crazy amount of money to invest, so I would like to start quite small. If you know anything about it, please let me know. I would be grateful. And I will see you in the next video where hopefully I will be making something. So thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting or at least amusing to you, and have a great day. Bye.